Hey everybody! It's been a while. And by a while, I mean at least for this game, it's been a while. You'll notice if you were here yesterday, this was a green and like brown gold kind of thing up all from my room here. I ended up switching it back, or rather switching it to just a plain white and some blue striping. And that was because when I was going through everything, trying to get, myself properly set up here, it looked like, and I'm not kidding, it looked like the stripes that were supposed to be like the almost brown gold kind of color were blending in with my hair. So it didn't look great. So I've switched things up. This is just the standard like blue and white that I found on Booth for free a while back. I'm just using this for right now until I can figure out a different color scheme for the room. Does it look weird? Does it look like just oddly like too bright? Like you stepped into the white light that you're not supposed to step into unless you're ready to go? Maybe a little. I'm sorry, I just really don't know what to do with regards to this room. So I don't want to be hidden, and I do want to stand out, but I also don't want parts that would, help me stand out against, the color scheme I have here on my jacket and everything. Just, I don't want it to help me, try and find a way to make the rest of me pop if something else is going to end up blending in the background, So, there is that whole thing. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I know I had already said it like multiple times between yesterday and every other moment that I've worked on either Beyond the Myth or became a VTuber, all of that fun stuff. I'm still not used to any of it. Like, you look at me, right? You look at this guy, which this is a cool model. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. You look at this model, then you look at the guy who was originally behind a camera, right? And if you knew anything about me back in the past, how, like, I've been considered this, like, shy, always worried about what people will say, think, all this stuff about me. Yeah, a lot's changed over the years, and it's partially because I've stopped doing certain things that would create certain levels of discomfort with people. That mostly being politics posts on my Twitter. And that actually ties into something I've been thinking about doing. After all this time of having used this account for literally everything when it came to, my social posts on Twitter, it's only been one account. It's only been the one that's been my primarily focused on trying to be an entertainer, but it also was a lot more of just personal me. I'm thinking separate the two. Like, it's okay for me to mention, just in the banner bio, what my views are, but I'll probably do a thing of no political posts here kind of thing. And of course, that will also mean I'll be cleaning up my old posts, so that way none of my old politics posts will be there. And then I'll open up a separate account that's more for personal me. So that way there's that separation of entertainer and actual human being. I'm not going to encourage anybody to follow the personal. If you're only following the entertainer Twitter, which is the current Twitter, that's fine. You don't feel like you have to follow all of me. Because if you're worried about, disagreements happening and it being the end of a friendship and all of that stuff, I mean, I hope we can agree to disagree, which, that would be the more mature thing, but I know the current climates. So that's pretty much all there is on that. But anyway, Stellar Blade. Has it seriously been almost 2 months since I last played this game? It's bonkers to me. It's bonkers to me that it's been this long since I last played the game. And usually when I don't play a game for as long as, I did on day one or anything like that, it tends to go in this whole thing of like, all right, well, time to shake off the rust. Where am I? What was going on with the story? I mean, there's gonna be moments I'll feel a little bit dumb. I'll just go ahead and say that. And so, you know, be patient. Be patient is all I have to say. Because I am relearning the controls, I am relearning mechanics, I am trying to play catch up on a story that I haven't done in a while. But overall, I just want to have fun. I want to get my streaming back up. That's the big thing. Um, oh, I should probably mention a couple of other things just because one's a fun update, or one was a kind of a bummer update. The other one is just the tech issues I've been having before I decided to go and do this stream. So bummer announcement was my originally planned appearance that was going to happen this morning on the sports podcast Snowman in the Morning. It got canceled, but I can't fault the guys for this decision. And that's because towards the end of the show yesterday, they got some bummer news that someone they knew, someone they cared about, a good friend, um, is gone. And that's always rough news, right? So they decided to take a day off from the show to kind of just deal with everything, which I can't fault them on. If grief hits you, it'll hit you hard, and all you can really do is just take time. Take the time to look out for yourself, look out for those around you, the whole 9 yards, right? You and everyone else you know are very important. Your own health is very important too. So take care of yourself first and foremost. Your audience can wait. So that's how that goes right there. So I'm figuring more than likely because we canceled today and I end up going back to my 9 to 5 tomorrow until Monday. We're probably going to be setting back up to have me on most likely this upcoming Wednesday. So that would be Wednesday the 11th. No, wait. 7, 6, 13th. So on the 13th is most likely when I'll be back. And I'll be on the show for sure. I'll double check with Dogfather to make sure that that's actually the plan. I don't want to be saying something and it turns out that's wrong. Because I've opened my mouth so many times saying, "Oh, this is how it's gonna be. This is how it's gonna be," and no, that's definitely not how it went. And one of those examples was I kept trying to force a confirmed "this is when it's done" day for this model, and I will admit it was my own excitement that I kept putting that out there more than a confirmed, this is when it's done. This is when it's done, kind of thing, from Cearia. So, yeah, most likely it's going to be the 13th, but I will double check and I'll post to Twitter the confirmed date. And if you're in any of the discords I'm in, which is currently either it's a few different communities, but I don't know how many of them will allow me to cross post on this situation. I know Genevieve's her Discord, because I am allowed self promo and I am part of that community. There's no problems there with me sharing on it. the one Discord I've set up for the after party for Beyond the Myth. Um, Anybody that's in there, they'll get that update for sure. Um, that's about it. Anybody that's got certain rules set up for cross promotions and such, I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to do anything, say anything over there. And now for the next thing before we finally get into the game. Technical difficulties. So I had a brain idea in a few different ways. Well, number one, I noticed when I was doing my recordings on Monday that my model was blurry. I even kind of noticed when I was looking back at the VOD for yesterday's stream, my model was a little bit on the blurrier side. And it turned out it's because I had everything be rendered in 720p on VTube Studio, while everything else is 1080p. So there's a big old, quality difference between the two. Everything else is sharp. The model was blurred by comparison. So had to do a tweak there. Okay, that was easy enough. I did my recordings today. No visual problems whatsoever. I go and I have the brainiac idea for, before I start today's stream, using my Elgato prompter as a third monitor to look at VTube Studio, so that way I can make sure I'm being a little bit more animated with everything I'm doing here on the stream today. And it kept breaking. Like every time I would get the VTube Studio monitor to fit within the full window there, it decided to say, no, we're going to automatically adjust to this resolution. So now your model is going to be teeny, teeny, tiny. And if you try to expand it out, it's going to look blurry as all get out. I don't like that. I don't want that. And so then when I try to set it back to 1080p, it bleeds the window over to one of my other monitors. And the only thing I can see is my face when I check over to it. So no, we're not doing that. So really what I'm doing now is I've got my chat window that's normally in OBS set up over on my prompter. So I'll peek over to that every few seconds. I'm just going to have to try and make sure because, now I'm no longer a face cam streamer who, you see his face and it's just kind of, it's whatever, whether he reacts or not. Go from that to, trying to make this model feel a little bit more alive, because otherwise it's just, oh, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess, stuff like it looks awkward when you do it that way. So I don't want to do anything like that. I don't want to make it seem like I'm not utilizing everything that I've got here. And I know I don't have the best, it's not the best of tracking setups right now. My hope is to one day figure out how to do the whole thing with the phone and get a stand. So that's the camera that's being used for VTube Studio versus my actual webcam. But until then, I'm just having to make things work the way that I am right now. And that's just how it is. But, it's growing pains going from flesh and blood content creator to VTuber. And it's to be expected. So that's just how that's going to be. Anyway, enough talk of technical difficulties, why my background looks a little bit different, and, personal stuff. Because you guys aren't here completely for the personal stuff. You're here for the funny cartoon-looking man to play the video game or just, do the entertainment talk. Because, documentary or film critic, if you remember my content before I became VTuber, before I started working on Beyond the Myth. You'll have known all about that stuff. So you probably want to know, like, oh, what was the last movie I saw, right? You want to know what my thoughts were on that? Sure. I mean, maybe if I want to do something like that and just chatting. But today, it's Stellar Blade. It's gaming time. I haven't played this game in a long time, and I want to get back into it. So, Now, I need to, real quick, open up Steam here and find... where are you, Stellar Blade? Where are you, Stellar Blade? There you are. Let's get this thing loaded up. And then I'll switch to the game screen as soon as everything is a little bit more loaded. And we shall see how things go. So bear with me. And we'll go from there. All right. Things are loading up, so let's go ahead then and let's switch over to play. You can't see it because my model's right over, but there is the loading bar right there. Hopefully the game shows. If not, then I know something I'm going to need to do. I've always had the workaround ready to go in case. Okay, there we go. It is showing the compiling shaders. All right. We're good. Last thing I needed was another potential breakdown while I'm trying to get things going here. Also, if you guys haven't tried yet, because I just took a sip and it's been my drink for a little bit. If you haven't had the new A&W ice cream sundae soda, dude, give it a shot. I swear. It's like, it's got vanilla cream, like the vanilla cream soda you would expect, but there's also like, I don't know what else I'm picking up. It feels like there's almost like a fudginess to it, which I don't know how in the world you'd mix that in with a vanilla cream soda, but there you go. All right, game, I know it's been a long time since I last played. You don't have to keep egging on this whole shader compilation. Come on. There we go. Actually, you know what? Just because of the fact that it's... Oh. Hello. Why do you... I don't know why, but for some reason it always looks hyper saturated out. Is it just because of the fact that I've got two different monitors and so it's trying to do, like... I don't know. HDR, you are weird. I don't know how to fix you. Let me see here. Maybe, no? Hang on. Properties. There we go. I just had to switch a thing on the other side. There we go. Now it looks closer to what I have in terms of what I'm seeing on my screen right there. One of these days I'll have everything figured out. I swear I'm a professional streamer. I swear I'm a professional streamer. Except I'm not really. Anyway. Enough jibber jabber. Let's get into this. Alright, so looks like I left off in some kind of like elevator shaft. Did I already go through this room? I think I went through this room area before. I'm gonna double check things.
All the lights are red.
Nope.
I have a bad feeling. The power is out. There must be a power supply somewhere. Damn, we're stuck.
Okay, hello.
Pass through the lasers without a single scratch.
Oh, that's right. In this area, I can't use my sword, so I gotta... Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, okay. That's what I get for not paying attention to my surroundings and keep thinking I can try to pull up my sword when I can't because, you know, that's the way this is going to work.
Damn, we're stuck. Pass through the lasers without a single scratch.
Ow. Okay, asshole. Ah, shit, I did it again! Alright. Shake it off, shake it off.
Stuck.
Alright, yeah, so my sword is unavailable.
Pass through the lasers without a single scratch.
Alright. Getting it, getting it, getting it. Big boomers.
Glad you made it.
All right. I just want to make sure I get everything before I end up going on to the next spot, you know? Alright, so that's all cleared up. So then this must be the power supply I need.
Done. The elevator should work now.
There we go! Bingo! So now flip the lever. Here I am up top now.
There's contamination here as well. There should be a weakness.
Let's do this. I forget, do I have skill points? Because it's been so long. I have 3 skill points. Well, I want to see how this works. Okay. Okay, so... I don't think I quite understand what I'm doing here, so... That way. So let me see if I can read up on this a little bit better. So let's see. So ambush. Okay, so assault is leaping down on the enemy there. Can only be used after. Okay, so the ambush is the whole sneak up behind and use Y that way, and then. Okay, I think I understand it now. So. It's after that gets done, and then I hit the button there. So we go... That's how. Alright. That's how that works. But then there's also, you know, let's see here. I haven't been using a whole lot on the beta attacks, but I should probably start doing that. So, you know what? I'll go ahead and learn that, because that's an easy thing to do there. And that took all of my skill points. That's fine. I want to rest. Stand. And then let's see here. Replenish ammo. Oh, I'm full. Okay, so now I need to find... Okay, so blast that. That.
Great job.
There we go. Alright. Now I want to replenish ammo after something like that. Thank you. Alright, open the box. Asshole. Trying to sneak up on me like that? That was not cool. How dare you sneak up on a woman while she's trying to grab some goodies?
We're almost there.
Open the door. Open the dang door.
Park is blocked.
I'll look for a different route. We can take a detour. Through the vent.
Through the vent. So you're saying I need to go Amogus here? Eve, do you see that vent? Have you ever heard of Among Us? Of
Closed. We
course.
Have to look for a security code.
Of course I do. Because it can never be that simple. Search for the security code in nearby area. There's a body. And there we are. UN funky thing. AUN.
I was somewhere nearby. Try entering the code.
Alright, so it was UN funky thing there. AUN. Hey!
It worked.
Sometimes my autism does work out in the end. Unable to hold more slugs, that's fine. Alright, now to Amogus.
Wind is making it hard to control the drone.
So basically, I just need to freaking... Ow! Watch out for everything that's going to try to hit me or explode.
Blow it up.
Oh, that worked.
Come on, let's get out of here.
I just want to make sure I get as much ammo as I can after that. Alright. We're good. Okay. So then we climb the ladder to open up this thing here. Okay, can't do anything with that guy because I already have enough of it. If I hadn't already replenished my ammo on the way here... Oops. Okay. That's not what I want either. I forget how to switch the things. Yeah, I know. I want to take a look at, range attack, blaster. Chat, help. There we go. It just switched after I did stuff there. Okay. You know, it'd be nice if it gave me, like, some kind of a prompt where it'd be like, oh, here, change the ammo type you're using. It talks about having it selected. Okay, cool. It's like, how? It's like, game be a little bit more helpful, especially if I haven't touched it in a while. There we go. Almost didn't get that in time. Whew. Alright. Climb up, examine the boot. I mean, just climb up the ladder.
Supply camp is here as well. Let's take a breath anyway.
Yeah, good idea. Let's take a look at the shop here and let's see. WB pump. Ammo package. I am full on ammo. SP initializer skill tree reset and refunding all of SP. I don't need that. Smart mines. I don't care about any of those. I got plenty of medicals. Let's go ahead and get, just because I know my luck, a couple of those. And then, let's see here. Repair console. Exospine. There we go. There we go. And then Stinger Missile Pod, hold. After selecting Stinger in ranged mode to fire your Stinger in homing mode. You can pinpoint and target enemies with a certain radius. Release button. Okay. Again, teach me how to do the whole, you know, switching out of stuff. That would be nice.
The Naytibas here. They look almost human. These Naytibas are definitely different from the ones on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them aren't even on our list of Naytibas. Elder. You're keeping something from us. What is it?
You know, it's never a good thing when you hear that kind of a line. Stand. That somebody is hiding something from you, and you're just like, okay, what's being hidden? Sweet! Funny enough, I didn't even know that was there. So, that was cool. No, I don't want to play any new music. I want to... Game. I forgot this was an issue I had in the beginning. Okay, so then, like that. Oh! That does not look... That does not look nice. No! Thank you, okay.
It grew by consuming the hypersol.
Oops. Woo! Okay, so that's how you beat this thing. Ow! Ouch! I was stun locked. Quite literally, I was stun locked. Woo! Holy. I mean, that didn't seem that hard of a boss, but still.
Look, it's a hyperdrive.
Operate.
The hypercell's preservation status is good.
Great. Be careful with it now. You should head back. I'll have the pod waiting for you once you go outside.
Okay, wait.
Wait. There's a legacy here.
A legacy? What's that?
It's a device with records left by the airborne squad before me.
Oh.
They leave important information for the next airborne squad.
I see. But why would an airborne squad come all the way here?
That's a good question.
Maybe they knew something about the Alpha or the Elder.
I'll check the legacy.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Give me some information.
Day 8 after the second dive. Third record. Legacy account Raven. Remaining survivors Ripley and Anis. Anis is in a bad condition. Death is very likely at this rate. We discovered this laboratory 4.47 kilometers from the drop-off point. It seems to be a facility that studied Naytibas, but it's hard to obtain accurate information due to severe contamination. However, I discovered an astonishing fact while searching through the data. Before the war we call the Final War, there was another war. It was a war fought between humanity and the androids humanity had themselves created, the so-called Andro-Eidos.
Oh, sorry.
Humans lost the war against their own creation. The few humans who did survive hid in underground facilities, but the hunt was far from over. However, an unexpected factor turned the tide of the war. With mankind at the verge of extinction, Naytiba's powerful creatures from an unknown origin appeared out of nowhere. The war with the Naytibas brought about the destruction of the androids. And so, during this time, mankind was able to make its escape to the colony. From now on, I plan to investigate the origin of Naytibas. Hopefully, at the origin point, I should find the Elder Naytiba. To anyone who may be watching, may Mother Sphere's blessings be with you.
Alright then. Now, I knew of this character...
I didn't think a record like this existed.
And there was another big war before the final war. I never learned about anything like that at the colony.
What do you think, Adam?
The history of mankind is riddled with conflict. It's hardly a surprise to hear about wars before the final war.
Even so, it's strange that this wasn't passed down. I'll retrieve the legacy and go back.
Wait a moment, Eve. I can pick you up with the tetrapod.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
Okay. So... missing information is kind of a big deal there, it seems. Because, I mean, think about it. You have a big war before what's called the Final War, and nobody knows about this other war? Something's up. That's all I can say on that one so far. I gotta check on something here real quick, so give me one quick second. Okay, so everything's... Alright. Just checking out a few things, and then I'll get right back to the game, I promise. Alright. Anyway, let's start heading back to past locale, shall we? Oh, I got an upgrade. Hang on. Repair console. What do I got? I can... I can craft the Orca exploration suit. Okay, so let's do that, because that's a big deal. Are there any other suits I can make, or is that the first new suit? That's the first new suit, so there we go. Hello, baby. There we go. Alright. Okay, so... I screwed so much up there. Well, this is what happens when you're so rusty you forget what all the, stuff does. Alright. Also, is it just me or is my frame rate a little messed up? Hang on here. Let me take a quick look at something. Okay. Settings. I might have to use frame gen here. I hate doing it, but... There we go. Now it looks a little less... Ow! Ow. Okay, game. All right. Don't tell me I was better off using a fast travel. I probably was better off using fast travel, wasn't I? Okay, I need to remember. Blue, I think, is push forward. No, blue is back, purple's forward. I think. Again, it's been a couple of months since I last played, so I'm still trying to remember the mechanics. Bear with me. Oh! That was mean. But then again, should have expected that.